Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug. Justin is not here because he's doing the Lord's work, helping his mother out. And I respect him for doing that because I would not do that for my mother because she's a bitch. But joining me in his stead, facts by the way, joining me in his stead is none other than the mighty Seth. Seth, welcome back, my friend.
Doug, so glad to be here.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, did not know Justin's mother was the Lord.
She is the Lord. Serving the
He's
Lord.
doing her work.
He's doing her work. Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, and this just in, Doug's mom is a bitch. You know, you gonna weigh in on that?
You know, I haven't met her. Anecdotally, I've heard things.
Anecdotally, checks out, but can't confirm or deny.
I like to reserve judgment.
You know, like I trust Doug, but you know,
Right? Hey.
let us know in those comments. Is my mom a bitch? Let me know.
Get in the comments.
Someone commented on an old clip that I posted a while ago about how my mom used to throw away shit all the time. Like in our house, threw away my dad's like cassette tapes to Meatloaf. You know, they just disappeared. Like spices would go missing from the pantry because she didn't like it the way that it made the house smell. And I was like, tell me you're from Iowa without telling me you're from Iowa. You're like, I don't like the way the seasoning smells in the house. I mean, you mean flavor? Are you kidding me? And she would just like chuck shit out and she wouldn't tell anybody until you need something and you go to find it. It's not there. It's like, what happened? She's like, I threw it away. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, woman? Why are you throwing this shit away
in this house?
Oh my God. She's like, oh, I threw away your father put garlic in there. And I was just like, yeah, you know, the good stuff that's good, you know, like, you know, I've talked
mayonnaise, good enough.
I've talked ad nauseum about how like my parents are terrible at cooking. They just make awful food, flavorless food. And it was just, you know, I rebel against that, you know,
right.
The idea that someone would be like, it smells in here. I'm like, it doesn't smell like shit. It smells like a bunch of different good seasoning. Those are called warming spices, ma'am. Fucking grow up.
Those are warming spices, ma'am.
Yeah, just unbelievable. The first time she used to make this breakfast casserole, and I've told this before, but like she was something handwritten on a card, and she'd like get breakfast sausage, and it was breakfast sausage, eggs, bread, cheese. It was like just this sort of like skillet that she put
frozen
together.
hash browns.
No, thankfully no. She did a hash browns one and completely undercooked the hash browns. There was no color on them at all. And I remember eating. I thought I was just eating onions. It was like that was the texture of it. I was like, this tastes like ass.
And we all know,
yes,
how you feel about the onion.
Don't like it. But so it was just like eggs, bread, this breakfast sausage, and it was like half teaspoon of salt, like just like whatever it said on there. And I'd always be like, oh, here's this big chunk of breakfast sausage. I can't wait to eat this. And I bite into it and it tasted like nothing because it wasn't seasoned. It had nothing. So you're just eating just this cooked.
Didn't get like the Jimmy Dean.
She got the fucking like the tube, you know, the tube of sausage that was just plain. The tubes
can be fine. The tubes can be good.
Yeah, but this one was completely just plain, unseasoned.
Sausage implies a level of seasoning.
Sure does, doesn't it?
Inherent.
Yeah, no, not
maybe the egg content just sapped out the inherent saltiness.
I remember looking at it like the only seasoning she had in there was like a half teaspoon of salt and like a little bit of black pepper was for the entire dish. So It was just always
normally
disappointing.
Get applied to one egg.
Right. Yeah. So I remember making the recipe myself on my own, and I just went to the store and I got some Johnsonville Italian sausage and I made it. And I was like, I ate it. I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to taste good. Like, why? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Why weren't we flavoring this? Why didn't we add the seasoning?
You know where she'd fit in really well?
Iowa.
And Austria.
Austria? They don't season stuff in Austria?
Not really, no.
Really?
Like, this is a people who, like, a primary side dish is literally just, like, boiled potatoes with parsley on it.
Parsley, I want to take a moment and talk about parsley. Parsley just feels like a lie. It just feels like, why are we doing this? It's just like, look at the coloring.
It's for color.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But
like,
very little else. If you want to argue to me that it has a flavor, it does. Fine. But it is not a flavor that is able to dominate a dish, nor would you want it to.
No, it's just purely for color. I was like, get it out of here. Get out of here with that.
Now, the Austrians, one of the primary side dishes, just fucking boiled potatoes with fucking parsley on it.
No salt,
no butter.
You
can salt them, I think, but they don't enough.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't hear too much about the renowned Austrian food, on the world culinary tour,
Except, well, if you know what to look for, you do. Like stuff like Wiener Schnitzel, that is Austrian.
Mm-hmm.
And that is good because it is,
deep fried.
Correct. It is a pork tenderloin, pounded flat, breaded, salt, pepper, fried, and then served with a little bit of lemon, maybe some lingonberry jelly. Like there's stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the side, you boiled potatoes.
But again, it's not like, but to be like, hey man, it's good if you know where to look. I'm like, that's not really a resounding,
I mean, but then the other thing too is they have this big immigrant culture that is predominantly Turkish.
Oh, interesting.
And the Turks bring the spice.
Turks know what's up. They know what's up. Yeah.
And so there's this thing. And I saw somebody on social media talking about this, and it related to my times back there, where if you go up to like one of the kebab shops, because the Turkish folk do kebab shops, you can ask for it with extra spice. And if you look like an Austrian, they're gonna look at you like, you sure about that? Like this is actually like this is really spicy. Like
it's like a white dude going to a Chinese restaurant and being like getting the off the menu spice and be like, hey man, give me the real shit. And they're like, are you sure about that?
But if you tell them that you're foreign, all of a sudden like, oh, okay, cool. Yep, you're good.
All right, cool. Awesome. So basically the Austrians are the Iowans of the of Europe, of the European Union.
Basically, Iowa must be heavily Germanic in its like roots, that it's like that's where those people
there's a lot of Scandinavians
cook their no spice part of life.
They're up there by Minnesota, from the Scandinavian folk, the Swedes and whatnot. So it is what it is. But speaking of food, that got me thinking about, you like to cook, I like to cook. And it got me thinking, like, I when I was, on social media, which I'm gratefully not anymore, I used to see a lot of different recipes for different things. And there's always some sort of viral thing or whatever it's going around. But it got me thinking, like, what is there a common or popular recipe that you see or have had that people make that you think is overrated?
Common recipe that's overrated. Oh boy.
While you sit around that, to use a nice culinary term, I will kind of do a blanket one, and this generally upsets me because it's totally a white person thing, which is where they give you like, either it's a crock pot, but more often than not, it's like just this great, it's like a 9x13 baking dish. And they're like, we're going to put in fucking raw noodles of some sort. We're going to put in a block of cream cheese, some butter,
tin tomatoes.
Like,
they're always British and it's always tin tomatoes.
No, most of the time it's people that are like, you all going to love this thing. I make this every week for my family. It's super easy. You're going to love it. You're going to finish it in no time at all. And they just put in like a block of cream cheese, butter, raw noodles of some sort, and then milk. And then they put in some raw protein, like just chicken. They just put it in there raw. And then they like cover it up, and then you just bake it at 350 for 30 minutes, and they pull it out, and it looks like absolute dog shit. And you're like, they're stirring it all together. Like, hey, doesn't this look great? Oh my gosh. I'm like,
McCormick fajita seasoning.
They put some shredded, like pre-shredded cheese on it and all that sort of stuff. And you're like,
hey, shout out to pre-shredded cheese.
No, man, I shred mine. I can't do it.
I do too, but sometimes I'm lazy, and
I'm not gonna get. Hey, listen, what are you putting it on? You know what I mean? Like, you putting it on a
like
taco, you putting it on whatever. That's fine.
Exactly, white people taco.
Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're like baking with it or whatever, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put this on, pre-shredded on a pizza,
Put it on a
homemade
pizza. Yeah, I'll put it on a quickie pizza. But here's the deal: you can't get the low moisture part skim mozzarella. You got to get the
full
whole
fat
milk mozzarella.
Yeah. That's the way.
And that's where the breakdown happens, because if you get that part skim bullshit, it like doesn't even melt. It like retains the shape somehow of the shred, and that's just wrong.
It feels awful when that happens.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of like the general thing where I see where people just dump a bunch of shit in.
That's so good and so true.
Yeah, that upsets me greatly.
One dish, and you know, you brought up slow cookers, and I feel like they are overrated in general.
I want to pull back a little bit and be like, hey, there's nothing wrong with a simple meal, right? Like if you like a pulled pork sort of situation, you know, I've made that in a slow cooker because my smoker's been busted for a couple of years. It gets the job done, you know, like you put some liquid smoke in there, you get your seasoning, you let it sit for like 8 hours on the lowest setting, and it tenderizes. It's good. I'm like, hey man, that's fine. You want to put it in some sort of like pasta dish or whatever, like, hey, I get it. I'm here for it. It's just, I think it's y'all gonna love this. This is my secret recipe, and my family. I'm just like, it's gross what you're putting in there. You're putting in the block of cream cheese and all this sort of stuff, and it's just like the I don't want to sound snooty because I'm just a picky eater, but when you see the ingredients that they put in there, I'm like, oof, man, big oof magoof. I don't think so.
I mean, I will go with that. Along with that, anything that has cottage cheese in it.
Okay, so this is where our paths diverge. I eat cottage cheese straight out of the tub. I fucking love cottage cheese, dude.
No, that's a warning sign to me.
It's got to be a good cottage cheese. You know, again, don't give me that skim milk cottage cheese. I'm like, I don't want to eat, you know, watered curds. You know, but you give me a good cottage cheese. Hell yeah, dude. I love it. I get it every week at Costco. I get the tub and I tear through it every week. I love it. Great source of protein. It's delicious.
That's the thing. Everybody's about this protein stuff. Yeah. And it's like, listen, if I'm going to go to cheese for my protein, there's already something wrong.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't go to cheese for my protein needs. I go to cheese to feel good about myself.
Yeah. And bad about my cholesterol. But still, point being that, like, if you put it in as not the main, it's not the star of the show, but it's as a supporting character, as
it's like an arch villain.
It's not an arch villain, because like you can do it, and there's some really great breakfast recipes where you can put it in that kind of help with some different elements. That's like you don't even taste it kind of situation. That's big because Jill hates cottage cheese too. I'm the only one in the family that likes cottage. I'm on a rarity that loves. You know, exactly, right? So, but she's made recipes that like involve eggs where it requires that. And she's like, I thought this was disgusting. But it was like, hey, we're going to make, you looking for like a nice protein, like sweet snack? Well, use a bunch of cottage cheese with a little bit of honey and some cocoa powder. And you make yourself like a little bit of a chocolate thing. And I was like eating it. I was like, this tastes like ass to me. I'll just eat the cottage cheese by itself. Like, I don't need this. But Jill had it and she's like, this isn't bad for her. For me, I was like, this is gross. But I'm always
got the cottage cheese flavor profile down. Like that's what you.
It tasted kind of like a cheesecake, and I don't really like cheesecake. I was like, I don't need this, you know, like because it was all blended in immersion blender, so it smoothed everything out, and
it'd be better, yeah.
You know, because is it the texture for you?
It's texture, but it's also like I just don't get it. If I'm going for that taste, I got other. I
get it.
Cheeses that achieve this better.
I got you. Hey, trust me, man,
I get it. This.
I understand. You look at cottage cheese, you're like, what are we doing? Who made this? Right? It's like when someone looks at blue cheese, like, listen, I know there's mold in there, but it's good. And I'm like, it is. I love blue cheese, but I get the cottage cheese situation where people look at it and like, and they get an ice cream scoop out and they're like, and you're like, oh, just give me like straight up mozzarella ball, man, and let me tear into that. You know, I'll dip it in some oil or
fresco.
Yeah, right. Just like give me some feta. Just name a cheese. I'm like, I'm here for. Give me some brie. You know, like there's so many better cheese options. Like I'm not going to argue against you on that.
Something to squeak on my teeth, I'm going to go with halloumi.
There you go. Give me some Wisconsin cheese curds. You know what I mean? Like there's so many places to go with it where you're like, really cottage cheese, but you know,
comment hashtag halloumi in the comments. Get 20% on it.
Halloumi. I don't know if I've had a halloumi.
So it's a really interesting cheese. It's yeah, I think I believe it's Greek, and it's a grilling cheese. So you can throw this on
Whoa.
your
Okay.
yeah, you can throw this on your grill and put a nice little char on it, put some grill marks on it.
How did I not know about this?
It's oh, friend.
Semi-hard, just like me, brine
Mhm.
cheese from Cyprus, traditionally made from sheep's and goat's milk, known for its high melting point that allows it to be fried, grilled, or baked without losing shape. It's salty, tangy flavor, and a unique squeaky texture when raw, which becomes creamy and golden brown when cooked. That sounds amazing, making it a popular vegetarian protein source.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
There
It
we
served
go.
as a
All
meat
right.
substitute? Listen, man, I don't go down the vegetarian route, but if you tell me this is my meat substitute, I'd be like, I'm listening.
I quite literally have never used it as that, but whatever.
I'm
You know,
like,
whatever
I'm
floats your boat.
I'm listening. I'm all ears. That sounds amazing. I would love to try that. That sounds really cool. I've just learned something new today. That's amazing.
Just unlock something.
Like, okay, Halloumi, I'm here for you. I'd say there's also just like some people who like, what was it? There was this recipe where someone like took a bunch of like flaming hot Cheetos, put them in a pan with like some milk and some butter, and then like dissolved it, and then they put in some Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know, and I'm
It's
like,
there are better ways to do that. It's just like, you know, that's the thing though with content. People, I think,
Yeah.
just have too much time.
yeah,
Or they're like, I feel like I watch so many of those recipes, and it's like you don't
Mhm.
legitimately like this, and if you do, shame on you.
no, listen, man, I grew up in a time where I ate like ass. I mean, I was eating Chef
This
Boyardee
is
out of a
beyond
can.
eating like gas. This is like I'm gonna boil my pasta in Mountain Dew.
That's 100% of what it is. You ever want
outta
to
here.
get like, you want to know what it's like to caramelize Mountain Dew with some pasta? I got you
Yeah.
covered, man.
I got Baja Blast caramelized onions over here.
My God. Oh yeah, no, I hear you. Like, I think part of it's, but I'm willing to bet people, you know, people enjoy that to some degree. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, if you're gonna go to the effort to like get those ingredients, I'm like, just make mac and cheese from scratch. It's way better. It's way easier than you think. I used to be like, how do I make mac and cheese? Well, I don't know how to make anything other than Kraft or Velveeta. It's like, there is a way to do this. And there's some amazing recipes out there that'll blow your mind, that are beyond, you know what? Throw some flaming hot Cheetos on top for the crunch, you know, instead of breadcrumbs. That's fine.
You don't
Give
have
yourself,
to dissolve them in boiling milk.
you don't have to dissolve them in milk and butter and then add in the Kraft mac. Like, don't do that. Like,
Let them let their structural integrity
yes,
remain.
like, keep them there, man. Everyone loves a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch. You don't have to do that. Don't make me sad. And you see it, it just feels like rage bait. You're like, I don't agree with this, but I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. But I'm just like, we can do better, man.
Here I am. I'm all ready to yuck all over everybody's yum.
Okay, now what's a recipe you can think of that's underrated? Is there something, or like something that
Underrated.
people are not using enough or are not doing, or you see something you're like, for me, it's like Millionaire shortbread. Like that is basically shortbread with caramel and then chocolate. It's basically a Twix bar. I love
Okay.
shortbread. And I made this years ago, and I've seen it pop up here and there on different feeds. I'm like, Millionaire shortbread. It's actually very easy to make. It is fucking delicious. It is so goddamn good. Most things with shortbread, in my opinion, are like top notch. I love that shit.
I gotta say, I'm not in the shortbread circles.
Dude, you got to get in the shortbread circles, man. I think I tried like several different recipes with shortbread that were like really, really good. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a great sweet crunch. It's so good. Highly recommend it. I don't think Millionaire shortbread's talked about enough. And that's my hot take.
It's been talked about so little over here, I didn't even know what it was.
It's so good. I made it like when I worked at I would make some stuff and I'd bring leftovers to work. I made a batch of Millionaire shortbread and I brought it to work and everyone loved it. And then like a couple months later, this woman goes, "Hey, you ever going to make that Millionaire shortbread again? Cause like, I'd really love to have some more of that." I'm like, you got it.
You know, the thing that I've gotten the most response to there is candied pecans.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
They are so easy to make in mass.
Uh-huh.
And it's so cheap compared to like what you would pay to go, buy them somewhere.
So what do you do to make that? Like, what goes into that? Like, what are the ingredients?
It's legitimately just like egg whites and sugar and cinnamon,
Oh yeah.
and I can't remember if there's any butter in it or not. But really, the egg whites like whipped up, like beaten into like a frothy
Mm-hmm.
kind of situation, and then you just kind of dump the pecans in, and that creates the bonding agent for the sugars. And then you just pop them in the oven. It's so easy to make a ton of them, and they're just so tasty, and they're so like just snackable. You can just sit there and pop them for hours. And yeah, it's become a thing I make like every holiday, just because it's like an easy to make, easy to bring, and everybody tends to like them.
I am going to, because the last time every summer there's a carnival in our town, and I think it was 2 years ago they had this little stand that had candy or like candied nuts, or it was like roasted nuts, and I got some. Natalie's not into nuts, but as I was saying, she tried one. She was like, "These are really good." I'm like, "I know, right? Like they're
And then when
amazing."
they're warm too,
Yes,
that's
they were
another
warm.
level.
Yeah, and I was like,
You
"Oh
get them
my
in a little
God."
paper cone, and
Yes, it's exactly what it was. It was amazing.
Mhm.
A lot of times, fair food is pretty much garbage. You know, it's going to be garbage, but that was like fresh, good stuff.
For it being garbage, there's like there's something to it. That
Yes,
because I'm out in this dirty place with all these dirty people eating this food, it tastes better. I don't know why. Like
these dirty people.
you've put my French fries in a paper cup.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. For some reason, because there's something about it feels more authentic,
Unparalleled.
right? It feels like, oh, this is brand new. I'm already looking at a recipe for this, and this looks.
You took my
goddamn
lemonade
delicious.
and you put a cup on top of a cup, and you went like this. And
Yeah,
then you gave it back to me.
a lot of
Delicious.
those are pretty, pretty suspect. But it is what it is.
I don't know. I'm a bigger fair food guy, I think, than
because there's one thing if it's like, oh, this is a local place that has like a food truck they just set up, versus like, oh, this is the traveling carnival that has their stock food that is,
funnel cake.
Yeah,
Funnel cake.
It's hard to mess up a funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
But
yeah.
a lot of the fried food is pretty, pretty substandard for the most part. It's like whatever.
See, maybe it's because I go French fries, I go lemonade, I go funnel cake.
Hey, that sounds good, man. That's good. You're going like chicken tenders or like stuff like that. You're like,
no.
Although it's hard to mess up a corn dog. It's hard to mess up a corn dog.
Should be.
So it should be hard, but God damn it, we do our best to mess them up.
Right? It's like I'm not gonna go to the fair. I'm not gonna get the walking taco.
No. I don't think so. Well, let us know in those comments. What's a recipe that's either underrated or overrated? Hit us up, youtube.com/MindGapPodcast, or check the link in the description for our Discord. Sound off there. We want to hear your thoughts. Let us know. Cottage cheese, yay or nay? And why? We'd love to know. Another thing, Seth, you and I, we like to play games. Quick update. Where are you on Clair Obscure Expedition 33? What's your status? This just in, Seth's been playing this game, and I've been eagerly awaiting his progress as he's been playing it.
I am just through the Forgotten Battlefield. I'm roaming the world map on the other side of it. Just went into Monoko Station.
Oh, fun.
I have met Monoko, and I think I'm going to like Monoko.
You're going to like Monoko. If you don't know what we're talking about, play Clair Obscure Expedition 33 and thank us later. It's a fantastic game.
It really is. I waited on it. You and Eric tried so hard to get me on the train while the train was like fully in the station and all of that. And I said, I don't have the time for it. I'll get there eventually. I waited. It went on sale a little bit. It won Game of the Year and all that good stuff. People haven't stopped talking about it. And there's a reason, though. It's literally that good.
Yeah.
It's a love letter to the games that I loved growing up. And it's something that, Square Enix has not been able to do themselves.
Yep.
Which is a little sad that, and it's, I kind of like plugged into like Clair Obscure based social media. There's a guy who like read a quote from somebody over at the Final Fantasy team who's like, based on the success of this, people seem to want more live action battle instead of turn based. And he's like,
I don't think you played the game, sir.
That's the wrong takeaway to have from this.
That's like people like this Barbie being successful and Hasbro being like, or Mattel being like, they want more. They want like, more shit. That more toy movies.
Daddy, the game or the movie.
They want micro machines. It's like, no, you missed the point, sir. To be like, oh, because the mechanics I like in the game, because back in the old Final Fantasy days, you're like, fight, use magic, use item, and that's it. In this game, it's like, cool, I'm gonna fight. It's like, all right, cool. Now you have to time your attacks to do max damage, and when it's time to defend, you got to dodge or parry, and you got to be on your game the whole time.
Element. And also, too, there's an element into how the team is built from a speed perspective, so that way, because you can manipulate it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you've got the right people setting up the other people.
Right, because that's the thing,
so that way, you're then doing max damage.
Right, you can basically set up, you can call it combos, but essentially you're setting people up to do max damage by adding debuffs or adding buffs and things like that, which is super cool. And some of the best music I've ever heard, like in that game.
Yeah, the soundtrack was one of those things that kind of blew me away initially.
Unbelievable.
Like, I'm not really a big video game soundtrack person, but this one, you can just tell right from
I've created
out of the gates.
Playlists from the music because it's just, I just listen to it because it's
so very good.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about that. I found this great question on Reddit, which was, of the time you've used your computer between 1985 and 2010, what's the one game you still think about today?
Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII, which this blew my mind when you told me that, because I was like, hey, I said on the computer, buddy. And you're like, yeah, I played it on the computer, which I was like, okay, you were ahead of the time, because those games, I never once would have thought I'm going to play that on a computer. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I was ahead of the times or I was just in my own weird little timeline, because I don't think many people played the PC edition of that and Final Fantasy VIII.
Nope.
And it was because I was a Nintendo guy, so I didn't have a PlayStation. I was limited, I couldn't have all the systems. I had to pick a system.
Sure.
And I picked the Nintendo 64 between that and the PlayStation, and then I had then I was let down incredibly by Nintendo's lack of good RPGs on that system, because that was my game of choice. And so, but luckily they made a PC port of Final Fantasy VII that I got to play a couple years after everybody else. And that's the one that sticks with me, because that's the game of all that sticks with me more than any other. If I had to name one other that was exclusive to the PC, I'll say it's kind of exclusive, it would be StarCraft.
Yes.
The only reason I say kind of is because they made a Nintendo 64 port for
Really?
StarCraft.
Jesus, that must have been a nightmare to play. It wasn't
a terrible experience.
Oh.
Can you imagine split screen 4 players?
Oh, but they did multiplayer with it?
They did multiplayer with it.
Oh, no.
So bad. Can't see anything.
Oh, I can't imagine using those controls to do anything. It sounds terrible.
Yes, it was extremely difficult to play.
Oof.
But they did it. So again, I guess I fell into this, ports that shouldn't have existed where they existed. Kind of thing. Oh, cool. My effects are just turned off now. Can't even turn them back on.
It's okay. You don't need effects, baby.
I do need effects. This is
no, you don't.
My background gives me nothing.
It gives you.
It gives guy who hasn't cleaned his room enough.
It's fine, man. All the shit that's in my office, it's hidden right behind me. All the mess, it's strategically put behind me. Can't see it. You don't know it's there.
I can't. I have more strategic places to put crap.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good, man. Those are good. Those are good picks, though. Between.
Okay. Well, now I am just a disembodied voice in a room.
Now Seth is taking on the form of a corporate office.
Guess what? I'm one of the objects in this room. You have to find which one.
Oh shit! Are we playing prop hunt
We're
right
playing
now?
Prop hunt.
That's amazing. You are totally. Let me see here. If you would be. Let's see. What would you be? I think you would be. What I'm assuming is the microwave in the back.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. It's the stool on the right.
Actually, it was the stool on the left. You can tell because
God damn it!
that leg is slightly, Actually, no. Never mind. The ones they're all kind of off colored. They all have one leg that's off colored.
Yeah, AI will do that to you.
AI.
That's right.
Let me try this again. And I'm back. Look at that,
back.
folks. Magic
Welcome back.
tricks.
Look at that. Amazing. No, those are great picks. I had a hard time picking one. I would say if I had to pick, it depends on the time in which I was playing on the computer, because I would say probably like late 90s, like 98, 99. I was probably playing a lot of Diablo and Counter-Strike, Half-Life, and Team Fortress at my buddy Colby's house over the summer. Best summer of my life, where I was able to drive. I went over to his house every day, went to his basement. We'd play computer games, and we'd take a break, and he would hop on his drum set. I'd hop on my guitar. We would jam. We would go to the gas station, get a 64 ounce of soda for 99 cents, and then throw in a Jack's Pizza, and then go back to playing games. It was just like I did that every day for summer. I basically lived in his house. It was amazing. And we were just playing Diablo, switching over to Counter-Strike, playing some Half-Life, playing some Team Fortress 1, and just like rotating through those. It was amazing. It was awesome.
See,
awesome
I didn't have that experience with PC gaming. I had it with the first Xbox and with games like Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Yeah.
Like, I had a buddy, we both played it. Just like, there was a point when, like, we lived in a very small town, and like one of us would literally lug a TV over to the other person's house, and then just have both TVs set up, both playing Morrowind, just to like hang out.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love that. I'd say the other one was Warcraft 2. I played that. It was probably maybe a year or two before that. I played the shit out of that game. And that was actually the first time I played with other people too. I figured out the whole navigating the port system with your wireless, with your router, to be able to connect to someone else's computer to play multiplayer, which was insane, which was wild. But I played the shit out of Warcraft 2, which was amazing. And then I'd also say Counter-Strike was huge when I got to college. I remember playing, we would do dorm versus dorm, like contests with each other, and someone created a leaderboard. Damn the person who did that, because it turned into a fierce competition where we would play constantly. And there was this one guy that was consistently in first. I was usually in second. His name was Diablo, and Diablo was an ace with the scout, and he would just pop people left and right. And I just was like, damn. And one day we just were like, all right, our dorm versus your dorm tonight, 8 p.m. Let's go. And we all get on, and we just got really competitive. We had a blast. It was really a ton of fun.
We had that in my school with Halo 2.
Halo 2. Nice.
And I remember there was this, it's like you had to have like the Xbox internet subscription gold or whatever the fuck it was to like get on there, except there was a computer program that would use, like, if you were on a big network like a university, you could tap in and you could play online with anybody at the university. And I remember there was a guy, his name was Mixomatosis, and he was the Diablo or whatever your guy was. And he was just with the always had the goddamn rocket launcher first, and rocket launcher the shoddy, and it was he was sitting top of that because nobody needed to make a leaderboard. The program that let us all play this did it for you. Just said, hey, here's who's the top and at the university, basically. And then I find out, like, after a couple months, that Mixomatosis is he was like 3 doors down. And he's like,
my God,
the biggest nerd ever.
Yeah.
Like, and by biggest nerd, I also mean like he wasn't very fun as a person either.
One of those.
Oh, hey, you're let's hang out. Like, hey, I'm Papa Squat. And legitimately, that was my name back then.
Nice, of course it was.
And then I tried to. It's like, no, he actually really was intent on whatever the hell he was studying. I can't remember, and it was not interesting. But like in his free time, he would dunk on us in Halo 2.
It's amazing how that stuff happens, like where you just get to the point where you just have that moment where you're like, I'm good at this right now in my life. and on my campus, I was in the top 5. You know what I mean? Like consistently in the top 5 for that game, but then you start to get, playing on larger scale and you realize I don't know how to play this game well at all, as guys are just like, you start to see like Valorant these days in gameplay where people are just like, they know the exact corner and the height where people are going to be peeking around and they go pop and one shot, they're dead in the head. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't understand that's how you had to play that game. I'd come busting in and going, just like spraying and praying. And I was just like, it worked for that people that I fought against. But once you get to those
like
upper echelons.
You take a game like Marvel Rivals where like, there's the top 500 and then there's pro play. It's like, and it's like, the top 500, they're fine and all. Don't get me wrong, but like they're not pros.
That's
and like that pro play is just a different level. Like the level of specialization people have gotten in these games is
well, not only that, it's like people understand the game in a way that we plebs could never understand. Right. Like this,
the people who like find animation cancels.
Wow. Yeah, that's also crazy. Where people are like, "Oh, you can do that," but like also just
like
knowing
as soon as the character's out, like, "Oh yeah, I found 3 new animation cancels." Like, I didn't even know to look.
Or just someone who just knows they've played it enough, and they're like, "This person is they are too far ahead, or they're out of pocket," and then they pounce, and they're like, "They're dead." And now you guys are at a disadvantage in this team fight because we just nuked this guy because he stepped just a little too far away from everybody else. And we called it out and we were able to see it. And it's like, that's a different than that. Like if you make a mistake at that level, the good people make you pay for it.
Right.
Whereas at lower levels, people are like, you wouldn't even know that you made a mistake. But at those levels are like, fuck you, you're dead. Which is wild. And I'm like, I don't know if that was always the case or if we've just evolved into that with games these days.
I don't think it was always the case. Like there have always been min-maxers. Like, I'm playing going back to StarCraft. Like, if you hopped on the BattleNet servers at the wrong time when Korea was up and playing, you had a bad time. I had a bad time. Zerg Rush, where it's just like the min-max of you have to produce X amount of units this fast or you'll be dead in 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it always kind of existed. It's just, I think the complexity of games has allowed it to flourish in many more ways to the point where like you can be that much more nerdy about it in so many more different, expressed in so many more different ways now, given the complexity of games.
Yeah. Have you seen like footage of people who are playing like what you're watching their hands and their mouse clicks as they're playing something like StarCraft, like at that pro level? I'm like, I can't even register what's happening. They're hitting all the hotkeys like constantly and just being like, it's insane. I remember years ago they were interviewing people and they interviewed a guy who played Warcraft 3. They're like, hey, have you ever thought about playing StarCraft? He just goes, I forget what the measurement was, but we'll just say like clicks per minute. He's like, my clicks per minute is not even close. He's like, I'm at 300. You have to be at like 600 to play StarCraft 2. So he goes, I'm sticking with Warcraft 3. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, unbelievable. Like that's actually the first time playing Warcraft 3 on BattleNet was the first time I realized how much I hate playing with other random people, because I was just playing a game of 2-on-2. I never looked into how to build your base. Like, I didn't know what the meta was for that. I just started building. I was paired up with this guy. It was 2-on-2v2. And I started building, and this guy just goes, we're fucked. I'm like, why? He's like, because you built wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, come on, we can give it this try. He goes, no, you built wrong. He just like came over and started attacking my base. He's like, we already lost. And I was like, what do you, like, I was like, we're not even going to try. And I was like, what, I go, hell, like, can we at least work as a team? I was like, be so naive. I'm like, well, let's work together. And he's just like, we lost. And I was like, what the fuck?
When the lobbies become so meta dependent, that's where like, it becomes genuinely unfun. Like that's why I like games, like that have the separation between competitive and casual. But even in, going back to Rivals, you'll get into, a casual quick match game and you got people raging because you're not playing the meta or because you did play something that is quasi meta. Like the number of times that people whine about having 3 supports after a win. Like, oh, you only won because you had 3 supports. I'm like, oh, or you only won because you switched to the character that counters mine. Yeah, that's
the point of the game. That's
winning
literally
works,
the point of
idiot.
Marvel Rivals. If you've never played Marvel Rivals before, to any listeners or viewers, it's a third-person shooter like Overwatch, although Overwatch is first-person. But point being that like it's a team fight game using Marvel characters, and there's a shitload of characters. It's a hero shooter. There's a shitload of characters, and they're adding them constantly. The way I look at that game is a game that is designed around. I'm playing this character, and if I'm kicking ass, there's probably a counter to it, and you should probably switch to it to stop that person. And it's the same thing with Overwatch. Overwatch operates the same way. Like there's some it's not as like I think clearly defined, but like it's the same thing. Like if
more clearly defined, the counter pick system,
right? So it's like if you've got someone is tearing your ass up as Black Panther, it's like, well, are you going to let them do that, or are you going to counter Black Panther?
Right.
You're going to get a Namor out there,
and then boom, it's over.
Right. Exactly. And that's the whole point.
His day is fun is done.
That's the whole point is like, what do you do to try to, because when I first played Overwatch, I chose one character and I played that one character the whole way through. I was playing by myself. I had no friends that played with me. I was just like, I guess I'm Roadhog this whole match. It's like, nah, man. I think the first time I played with Gun, she was swapping like crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, you got to change up. I go, you do? He goes, that's the point of the game. You got to switch it up, man. If it's not working, you got to find something else. I was like, oh.
And that game became so strict in its system, like of the role queue.
Yeah.
Where like, hey, if you queued up for tank, you're in tank jail.
Yeah.
Like no swapping for you.
It's because it's a heavily team-based game.
Yes.
And they couldn't count
take it
on
a little
people
bit more seriously.
Well, they couldn't count on people to do the right thing.
No.
And
which
like
is where we're at with Rivals, It's like,
yeah, which honestly I'm okay with that with Rivals because I don't want there to be like role queues in that regard because there's so many characters. So and I don't think it shouldn't be balanced in a sense of like, when I play Spider-Man and someone has a Namor, then I can't be Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, then you got to switch. Or if that character's banned, you now have to be able to flex to something else.
Yeah.
And being able to do that, I find that infinitely more interesting to know what the counter is to those other players to try and stop them than, well, I guess we got to make everything so like it's a 50-50 whether or not you can win. We're gonna shave everyone down to this like overbalancing stuff.
It allows for skill expression.
Yeah, exactly. And for sure.
That's like I played the game in a way that I play it a lot, where I'm that flex. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
That when we're running one tank and 4 DPS and then one support, that I'll hop on the other support or I'll hop on the tank. I won't be, when we've got 4 people auto locked on DPS, which I'm one of them because that's the role that I play best.
Sure.
Is DPS.
That's your go-to.
Right. Like then the numbers support it. I win way more. But I won't be the one who's like, I won't just throw the match because I won't play the position that that the team needs to function.
Right.
And so I'll get thrown in tank jail or support jail because that's what they feel like to me. Sometimes tank in particular feels like jail.
Well, especially of those 3, I'm worse at tank because I just don't understand my positioning that well, and I get out of position. I don't know the right time to take space and whatever. I'm best at support. I'm okay at DPS on certain characters. I don't have a lot of depth in what I can play, and it's highly stressful to me in that regard because I'm like, if I'm not killing people, I'm not doing my job, and I feel really stressed if I'm not. I'm like, great, I'm failing us if I can't do that. But I prefer support. I'm like, I'll heal your ass all day. I got you. I have no problem with that. I enjoy doing that. I love trying to keep people alive, which is why me and Eric work so well. Eric's primary tank, your primary DPS, I'm primary support.
One for each
we got one of all 3 roles covered right there.
We just need other people to fill.
Yep,
they don't.
Those spots. Yeah, they don't always do that. And I want to go back to something you said too, like especially in these kind of games, because for those who don't know, like there's just you can play against bots, you can play what's called quick match, which is against other people, but there's just no stakes, you're just playing, and then there's the ranked mode, which is the competitive thing where you're trying to like if you win, you rank up and you try to get bragging rights that way. When it comes to quick match, I'm like anything goes. I'm not going to get too pissy because that's your opportunity to try stuff out. You know what I mean? Like you're testing stuff out. You're playing against real people because you can only do so much against bots. Bots have, very predictable patterns and things like that. And so it's like, yeah, man, if you're going to try out your Spider-Man or your Black Panther, right? Cool. This is time to do it. Like, go for it. You got to practice. You got to get better. What I don't like is when people are like, I'm going to try this out in competitive. I'm like, no. No. Find
right?
your
that new character drops and you queue up in competitive and you see that new character that's been out for hours and somebody's like, no. Get your ass back to quick play.
Yeah.
Figure it out there, not here.
Unless you figured it out, in which case, which is possible.
You haven't. So stop.
So stop. Don't do that. It's because another thing too is, especially with those kinds of games, people, when they aren't winning, it's everyone else's problem, right? Sometimes that's just the nature of that round. You're not going to win every game. You might be outgunned, you might be outskilled. It's just the way it goes. But all of a sudden, someone's like, well, if I'm dead, that means I'm not getting healed. This must be a healer's problem. And I've fallen victim to that, where I've just been like, why are our healers dead? What's going on there? Or you look up and the DPS is like 3 and 8. You're like, what's going on, guys? Are we not killing people? But then there's so many other things that go into it. If you're a DPS and you're out of the line of sight of the healers, you can't get healed because you're not
playing
in the right
across
position.
the map. Where's my heals?
Right.
It's called health.
Exactly. Or are you getting countered by someone and you don't realize it? Are you playing out of position? You're getting jumped and you don't realize it. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that. And sometimes, especially in that kind of game, it's just like, hey man, sometimes you're going to get steamrolled, and that's just, you got to take that. You got to eat it.
Yeah.
You got to eat those. You got to eat those cornflakes, man.
There's a true lack of inward looking that happens in those games because it's so much easier to just blame everybody else.
Yeah, it's tough. I think last week Eric and I were playing a competitive game, and this guy was just real shitty out of the gate. He was just like, if DPS doesn't do the thing, then I'm swapping off a tank or whatever. And like I think we did decent holding them, but then like we had trouble on our end when we were trying to push it, and he was just so shitty. He was just getting so mad and being such a
everybody
shitty person.
Else is the problem.
Yeah, I was just like, man, like, and that's where I'm like, why would I ever want to hop on voice chat? Like, why would I ever want to try and work?
People who tell other people they need to swap, to another role, bold. When it's like, hey, guess what? That recommendation you're giving, you could take it too.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, but
right?
You're not going to do that. Why is that?
Yeah. It's also interesting the people who go into the competitive matches and they only have like 1 or 2 characters under their belt, and then one of those characters gets banned, and all of a sudden they're like, uh-oh.
I quit. I'm going to throw.
Right. Like my brother was telling me he's played a lot of Overwatch, and one of his favorite things to do is to ban Mercy, which for those who don't know, Mercy is very much just like a straight up healer. She just has a healing beam and whatever. And she's one of the easiest. No, he likes to do that because that's what most people are comfortable with. So he bans them, and he goes, you'd be surprised how often the team falls apart. That because all of a sudden they don't have a Mercy that can just res people and just do simple stuff like that.
True
so he
heal
goes,
bot.
Yes. He goes, because all of a sudden everyone's like, oh shit, this was my fallback. And he goes, they can't handle that. So, that's why it's good to be comfortable with several other types of characters, because then if you don't have that, then you're like, well, fuck, what do I do?
See, yeah, I was doing that with Cloak and Dagger a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, smart. That's a common. I'd say she's probably the Mercy of the Marvels.
Crutch healer.
I like it. It's easy.
Yeah.
But I also like Rocket.
Yeah.
I also like Invisible Man. Those are like my 3. I feel like Mantis is okay. She just can't sustain heal enough. I don't feel like she's as effective, and we don't need to go down the stats. That's not why you're listening to us. Why are you listening to us, everybody?
But you
could. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I just play randomly like once or twice every couple weeks, so that's all I know. But it's fun to talk about. But let us know.
Yeah.
If you're playing computer games between 1985 and 2010, what's the one game that you still you think of that you played? There's several other ones on there, like Seventh Guest and some other ones that I played a lot of that I really enjoyed. But let us know in those comments.
Command and Conquer. And
that's a common one. I missed that boat, but I get it. Like, I understand.
Command and Conquer Red Alert, Command and Conquer Red Alert 2.
Yeah. Big ones.
Yeah. Love
Side note,
games.
Got to get you on Deadlock. All right.
I've tried Deadlock.
Scared. I know you're scared, but have you tried it with me?
No.
No.
Of course I didn't. I tried it by myself when the game first launched and could not get the hang of it. And said, I've already developed muscle memory and a skill set over here in Marvel Rivals world. I'm not going to diversify. I'm too old to diversify.
That's fair. That's fair. Once Eric
I'm going to
clears
hone
space
these
off
skills.
of his, once Eric clears off space after he finishes Pragmata, or whatever you want to say it, like, I'm gonna get him in. You gotta join us. All right, come on board. I was the same way. I played it once and didn't touch it for a while, and now I've kind of gotten the bug. And I think, knowing you, I know you. I think there's something in here that that there's an itch that it could scratch once you get over the learning curve. I could see you just going ham in this game.
Maybe.
Okay. Hey, no pressure, but you're a bitch if you don't do it. Okay?
Need a moon knight.
Oh, we'll talk more about that. All right. Time to hop into a game. Seth, you're in corporate America.
Unfortunately.
You know, you are, as am I.
All day, every day.
And so, all day, every day. So what I want to do is I want to play a game that I've played with a lot of people, but in particular, I want to play this with you because this is something I'm calling, is it AI or is it LinkedIn? And the whole point about this is I'm going to be reading something. And your objective is to determine, is this a real LinkedIn post or is this something that I generated via AI to try and mess you up?
Oh, okay. So now this is interesting because the other side of this was the real LinkedIn post just AI generated itself?
That is the tricky part about this game these days, is because it's hard to tell. I
need an M- count on everything you're telling me.
That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. So I'm going to read you something and you tell me, is it LinkedIn or AI? Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's our first one. I'm thrilled to announce that after 9 months in stealth mode, we have officially launched our most ambitious project yet. Baby Boy Nasser. The product was developed in-house with Mom as founder, CEO, CTO, COO, and absolute MVP. Seth is having a great reaction right now. We're not even a third of the way through this. I mostly handled investor relations, emotional support, and asking doctors too many questions. Early traction is strong. 3.5 kg of pure potential. Strong lungs and vocal output, already disrupting our sleep schedule. The onboarding is a 24/7 job, feeding cycles, diaper deployments, and almost no sleep. Still, the best project we ever shipped. Welcome to the world, little founder. Special thanks to my wife, who carried the company through the entire incubation period and handled launch day like a pro. She's the strongest person I know. P.S. We're exhausted, emotional, and completely in love. I've never been happier. P.P.S. Taking recommendations on diapers and anything that buys us 30 minutes of sleep.
So,
Seth, is that a real, genuine post on LinkedIn, or is that AI generated?
My gut tells me that it's AI generated.
What does your heart say?
My heart listens to my gut.
I am sad to report that this is a real post on LinkedIn. This is not something.
Here's the thing, I'm not even surprised by that.
Yeah.
There was phraseology in there that so AI helped this schmuck write.
Probably, most likely, yes, most likely, for sure.
Nobody writes their own shit anymore. Nobody writes their own material.
No.
But yeah, like
I have a real problem with people that are announcing like
this is for work. This is like
and stuff.
Go over to Facebook.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram. Go to TikTok.
Yeah, go to your TikToks. Go to your Blue Skies if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go to your Truth Socials. I don't give a fuck.
Please, this is for being corporate Americans.
Yeah. That one bummed me out seeing that one. So okay.
Yeah, 100% not surprised though.
Here we go. Here is our second one. The best bouncer I ever watched work a door in New York City could read 200 people in a line and pick the exact 12 who'd make the night electric. Turns out, that's the same skill I use now to evaluate startups. My new blog, The Bouncer Algorithm, breaks down what nightclub door policy taught me about VC deal flow, portfolio construction, and why the people you say no to matter just as much as the people you say yes to. If you've ever wondered what a velvet rope has to do with a term sheet, this one's for you.
Where's the ending where it says comment bouncer for a free link in your DMs to the ebook.
Thankfully, it doesn't say that. You know.
You know, I'm going AI again.
All right. Unfortunately, this is a real post.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. Guy named Shane Naiman, 2X exited B2B SaaS founder, family office investor, and then it sort of trickles off.
You know what? I'm waiting for a point in this world when the term B2B SaaS goes away. I need the term B2B SaaS to no longer exist.
I need a lot of these like 2X, 10X, 3X shit to go away too. Like I mean, there's so much stuff.
All that
like,
bullshit
is.
Just
stop. Can we just stop with this bullshit? Like, it's
no.
Yeah, this one's pretty bad. I mean, he's obviously like, promoting, his fucking bouncer algorithm, which is disgusting. But I guess that's the thing we do is we compare anything we have
we
to
make up bullshit, and we don't go out and see if it actually works, but it sounds like it might, and then we sell it based on that. Exactly. It's like the how to make $1 million in a week, and guys out there selling fucking courses and ebooks and shit like if you're making $1 million a week, why are you out here hawking courses and all that? And it's like, I
saw that someone responded with something like that to someone, like, check out this course and blah blah blah, I make all this money. It's like, then why are you selling courses, bro?
Right. How do you think I make the money, idiot?
Yeah, you dummy. All right, here's our next one. I just had lunch in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Yes, I timed it, because what isn't measured doesn't improve. While you wasted your lunch break like a romantic from the past century, I realized something that changed my relationship with productivity. Eating is a biological transaction, not an experience. My lunch today? Tupperware reheated. Don't even remember what. Stopped in front of the microwave. Replied to 3 Slack messages. Chewed 6 times per bite. Digestion is for people without deadlines. Do you know what I did with the 55 minutes I saved? Nothing important, but I had it, and that's power. Here are my 3 rules for eating like a high performer. 1, if you feel guilty, you lose. 2, flavor is bourgeois luxury. Protein is a strategic need. 3, chewing is optional. Your stomach is acidic for a reason. I ate fast today. I won today.
Doug,
Seth, is that real or is that AI?
Doug, I'm going to say the course here, and I'm going to say that one's AI.
I wish I could tell you that one was AI.
Doug, you've wished you could tell me they were all AI. This is reaching madness levels. I'm losing here. The house is winning.
This is insane to me that this person...
Chewing is optional. What are you, a duck?
Also, like, I wouldn't promote that, man, because that's how you choke.
Right?
Chewed 6 times per bite. Who is taking the time to do this? You know what I mean? I'm going to time myself. So while it was
Tupperware,
while it was heating up, I replied, "Who is this? Chris Cochran? Who's like, flavor is a bourgeois luxury." It's like, okay, you don't like flavor? Okay,
have your boiled potatoes.
Yeah, have your boiled potatoes. You fucking loser over here. All right. I've got 2 more. All right. Here we go. Next one. My dad called me last Tuesday just to talk. I told him I was slammed and I'd call him back Thursday. I called him back Thursday. He'd already forgotten he'd called. My father has dementia and moves slowly, then all at once. I know this. I've read the literature. I've attended the support groups. I've built the mental frameworks for managing grief while it's still anticipatory. None of the frameworks helped on Thursday. I don't have a lesson here. I don't have 3 bullet points and a call to action. I just know that somewhere between my last 2 performance reviews, I stopped answering calls that didn't have an agenda. If your parents are still the kind of people who call just to talk, pick up. The ROI is incalculable.
Doug, I'm going to say the course. I'm going to say this is AI, and then that's going to make me sad too. If it is.
This is actually AI. This one is actually AI generated.
Right.
Because no one would try to monetize.
Is going to tell you.
No one would try to make content out of dementia of their father, right?
Oh no, people would, but the thing would be like, listen, he has dementia, okay? He's not gonna know that you're not taking his calls. Get out there and get that bag.
Yeah.
Get on
right?
your grind set. Dementia Dad can wait.
Yeah, that's right. You stupid idiot. What I loved is like, there's all these things. It was so sincere. It's like, I don't have a lesson. I don't have 3 bullet points to call to action. I just know that somewhere between my last 2 performance reviews, it's just like, he just starts, anyway, it's not real, but that's what's funny to me.
Right. And so the theme, Doug, is the grosser it is, the realer it has been so far.
Yeah.
The one that actually might have had a wholesome bit to it, that was fabrication.
You're like, that is bullshit. That's not human.
That was fabrication. That's
all right. Here's our last one. Here's our last one. My GPS rerouted me this morning. I ignored it. I knew a shortcut. I've driven this city for 11 years. I don't need an algorithm telling me how to go to a meeting I've been to 40 times. I was 22 minutes late. Here's what sitting in unexpected construction traffic taught me about leadership. Confidence is not the same as competence. I was confident. The GPS was competent. I spent 22 minutes being the smartest person in a lane that wasn't moving. The most dangerous leader in any room isn't the one who knows the answer. It's the one who stopped asking for directions 3 promotions ago. I apologized to my GPS when I parked. I also apologized to my team when I walked in. One of those apologies was out loud. Watching your physical reaction to these is probably what makes me the happiest.
Yeah, well, it's visceral.
Seth, is that real? Is that a real LinkedIn post or is that AI?
Look, there is no point in me changing course at this point. We're going AI.
Sticking with the plan. It is AI. You are correct. That is AI generated.
All right. The part that got me was the apology to the GPS.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what AI wants you to do. It wants you to apologize to
right.
it.
It's
that's just some subtle shit.
Right. Apologize.
Although honestly, there's a lot of people out there. I've seen people that are like AI enthusiasts. I would say call them evangelists who are just like, yeah, I apologize and say thank you to my stuff every day. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I do that? They're just like pretty psycho about that. So that one did feel a little real to me.
People,
but anyway,
people, man.
How'd that make you feel?
Not good.
Not great. This game doesn't usually leave with people feeling great.
No, the fact that those first 3, they hit hard.
Tough, man. They were tough. Those were real tough, man.
What sitting in traffic taught me about B2B sales.
That's the thing I hate. We're like, here's this obscure thing that I witnessed. Let me tell you how it relates to my job. It's like, it doesn't. It just doesn't.
Well, and the job is always B2B sales.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Or it's like how to be a leader. Okay. All right. Whatever. Asshole. Well, Seth, thanks for playing that game and thanks for chatting with me, bud. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to recommend to our listeners and viewers this week?
I am fully on board and enmeshed with Taskmaster.
Okay.
I have watched all but 1 season of it now. There are 21 seasons, I think.
Damn.
It's free on YouTube. And it is such a good show. It is so fantastic. I love it so much. And it just highly recommend it if you haven't gotten there yet.
If people aren't aware of it, it's sort of like a game changer sort of thing where people are asked to do certain tasks.
5
they don't necessarily know why.
Come through every season and they get asked to do a bunch of weird ass tasks with and the funnest part is mostly watching them fail at stuff that seems simple because you've seen the solution,
right?
And then just watching them fail and the hilarity that ensues, and the hosts Greg Davies and Alex Horn are gems. Stuff you never would have heard of out if you're not in the British comedy scene. And it was it was the Jason Mantzoukas appearance and season that got me hooked.
Of course, Jason Mantzoukas will get you hooked on anything.
Jason Mantzoukas is absolutely a gem, and the latest one has Kumail Nanjiani on it. So
nice.
They're getting they're getting some of the Americans over there now.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love it. I'm going to recommend the movie Backrooms. I went to go see. It's an A24 film. If you're not familiar with it, it's based on this the lore that was created years ago online about liminal space, which basically like is this space that people should be in, but they're not. And there was this like, it was like a random photo of some like Hobby Lobby or some shit that was getting renovated, but it just looked like this really gross, pale yellow wallpaper with fluorescent lights and carpet. It just looked very off. And so people were like, oh, what if there was like a way that you could fall through to this, like no clip through into this dimension where there's this thing called the back rooms where all this shit just exists forever. And then this guy, Kane Parsons, who's 20 years old, who directed this fucking film, he created like a whole bunch of short films on YouTube about it, like developing lore and everything like that. And they made this movie, and it's like just visually impressive. Really enjoy it. It's a little weird. It's definitely got some classic A24 film elements to it, you know, where there's some confusing stuff. There's a lot that's kind of left up to you to decide like what's going on, what's happening, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Given the opening description, if it wasn't a little weird, that would have been weird.
Yeah. No, it's got some great actors in it. It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know how to say the guy's name. You know, he was in Doctor Strange. He played
Mordo.
Mordo. Yes, he played Mordo. He's been in a whole bunch of different stuff. He's a fantastic actor. It's just excellently done. I highly recommend it. It's available now. I think it's one of the highest grossing A24 films out there. So it's divisive, I guess, to some people that know the source material or whatever, but I thought it was great.
From what I heard, it was just people who were mad that like every little fucking Easter egg or every little fucking reference didn't make it.
The problem is that the backroom stuff has multiple fan theories. There's not one isolated one. Kane Parsons has his own idea of what it is, and I think some people
he got there first. He's allowed to make it.
Right. So, but I just thought, like, man, for a 20-year-old directing this shit, like, he did a hell of a job, man. It was really, really impressive, and it's been great.
You know, it's reasons like that an SCP movie will probably never ever make it to the light of day.
What's SCP?
Okay. All right. SCP stands for like secure, contain, protect. And it is this online like spooky pasta thing that has been going on for years. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of entries. And it's just like this organization that is beyond everything we know here, beyond all governments, beyond all, and they find these anomalous creatures, entities, or whatever, and then they secure them, they contain them to protect us. And it's like if they didn't, this is like there's a doll that would melt the fabric of reality. Or I think one of the most famous ones is like this like sculpture that if like you look at it, it'll break your neck.
Oh, interesting.
Like in just like a half a second, like go over there and break your neck. But I forget what the whole thing, but like there are thousands of these, and like it's become actually really contentious. They made video games about it, but like somebody sold some of the rights to it and it wasn't theirs to sell. And it's like this whole big now infighting thing. But it's this bizarre online place. You could spend hours and days trying to read through all this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm reading some of the examples now. It's like there's a staircase that appears to descend infinitely and inhibits any light within its space. There's a tall humanoid creature with extreme whatever that is, which causes it to great psychological distress. The creature will hunt down and kill anyone who has seen its face, whether directly in person or even seeing images of its face from photos or video footage. That's interesting. It sounds like Twilight Zone shit, you know?
Right. It's just online. Like anybody could add to it, and so like it's this weird amalgam of like all these people's weird ideas. And they developed this kind of like a core narrative, but it's pretty splintered at this point. But anyway, and this probably I'm probably doing it the worst injustice ever if actual fans of it ever got a hold of me.
It sounds interesting, but yeah, good luck fucking trying to make something with that. That would be tough.
Oh yeah, and adding to the fact that somebody's like trying to claim ownership over some parts of it, and forget it.
Yeah, tough stuff. But anyway, check that shit out, gang.
Yeah, there we go. Recommendation turned into a weird side adventure.
It's all good. It's a side quest, and we like side quests.
Yeah,
we're completionists.
That's what I do. I just give side quests. I have an exclamation point in my head.
I love it. Well, gang, thanks so much for listening to us. As always, be sure to check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/mindgappodcast. It's the like and the subscribe button, and leave us a comment. Check out the links in the description for links to our Discord, our Patreon, and our merch. Join the Discord. Be part of the solution. Be part of the community. We'd love to have you. And of course, we're available wherever you listen to your podcasts. Be sure to rate and review. And then be sure to check out Justin online. I think his stuff is Justin _ Michael. That's the fun way you spell it. And then, you can find him at loveandimprov.com and then loveandimprofilm.com. And then the other one he's working on that I should know by now, but I forget. So, you know the rules, you know the deals. I'm a good co-host. I listen. Here's what really happens. I say my thing and then I tune out. I tune out until I hear his thing where I'm like, cool, we're wrapping it up. And I'm like, cool. And now we're done. So, but Seth, thank you so much for joining me, man. It's been great having you back on here.
Always a pleasure, Doug.
Awesome. And with that, I'll say you all, listeners and viewers, have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.